Zach, Lisa's limbs were severed while she was still alive. But she's smiling. She must not have been able to feel any pain. Sang Rouge isn't that powerful of a drug. At least it shouldn't be. And look, Zach. Another dragonfly. The tattoo is just to the side of her navel. She always carried the mark of a Clarkson with her, wherever she went.
Lise, you're so beautiful.
Really? Yay! I'm a little dolly. I'm a little dolly.
That's it, Lise. It'll all start from you. Now you'll never die. You'll be eternal. Just wait for me, Lise. I'll be with you soon. I'll always be with you.
Dolly, dolly, dolly.
Lise Clarkson was murdered here. After she died, she was carried to the spot underneath that bridge. Why did the killer feel the need to move her? Bodies are usually only moved to cover up evidence. But this is different. Lisa's body was enshrined. She was being shown off to someone. The ritual, the altar, a mother killing her child, a monstrous giant, and a mysterious, stylish woman. There's a real demon out there, and it's got its sights set on the Clarksons. But Zach, this is exactly the kind of case we FBI agents are here to solve. Isn't that right?
Did it. I really did it. I finally completed the first ritual. Now the plan will begin. The Red One's plan will begin.
Zack, this case is going to be a labyrinth. I certainly didn't expect to run into a monster like this. Honestly, I'm not one for violence, but I'm not just going to stand here and die. What do you think? Should we read off her rights?
Now, it's the Red One's turn. The Red One. Soon. And in the end, we'll be together. Together. And the red. Oh, see, it's red. Oh, yeah. I killed Lise. I did just as I was told. I killed her, so pure, adorable, and beautiful. I killed my own baby! Lise! Lise! You son of a bitch! What did you do to my daughter?
Nah!
You're really pissing me off. I'm invincible now. Holy red seeds protect me. So then why? What are you? No, it can't be. You came here to stop our plan? You can't stop us now. We already made our sacrifice. You don't know how much we sacrificed. How many tears of blood we cried. All for the Red One's plan. We've come so far. The Red One gave me the honor of lighting the flame. I'm not gonna let you stop me here!
Belina, is this your true form? Gosh, Hollywood would have been all over you. Although you probably would have been typecast as a gross monster. The kind that heroes always kill.
We're going to make a new world! And no one's going to stop us! Snap the tin! Mutilate your Mutilate your meat! Why? Why? But feel my pain! No! This can't be happening! How? Lise. Our new world. My Lise. My sweet little Dolly.
Galena Clarkson, you are now under arrest on suspicion of the murder of Lise Clarkson and the illegal disposal of her corpse. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. That's enough, Zach. She can't hear us anymore. Zach, pardon my language, but this case can go fuck itself.
I owe you one, Mr. York. I'm awful sorry you had to get all caught up in our town's dirty laundry. I didn't expect you to catch the criminal this soon, though. You never fail to impress me. Come on, CLG. Let's head back to the office. Mr. York and I both got a lot of cleanup work to take care of. Now I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna tell the Clarksons. That's my biggest problem.
Melvin, this investigation has only just begun.
What? But we got the killer.
This case is much more complicated than it seems.
You mean you're gonna keep searching the town?
Of course. At the moment, I'm after a tall, stylish woman. Does that ring any bells?
Stylish? You lost me. What's that got to do with anything?
Zach and I saw her with our own eyes. We need to find her, I'm positive.
You're probably talking about Professor R.
Professor R? From the jazz bar?
Yeah. I mean, she's the only person in town you could call stylish. She's tall, too.
But,
What is it, Melvin?
well...
Well, out with it. Don't let your 10-year-old daughter upstage you here, Sheriff.
You're looking for a stylish woman, right?
Yes, we've established that.
Then I think you're barking up the wrong tree with Professor R. She isn't exactly a normal woman, if you catch my drift.
I hear you loud and clear. Melvin, you're careless in every sense of the word, but I believe you operate on the side of good in most cases. With that in mind, I'm disappointed to see that you carry some prejudice with you.
But
Is she the type to forbid customers from entering her jazz bar due to the color of their skin?
No, she ain't like that.
Well then, case closed. Melvin, I think we should call it a day. I'm going to head back to my hotel and get some sleep. I also need to prepare a report to send back to the Bureau. Patty, thank you very much for assisting me in my investigation. I'll be counting on you again tomorrow.
I just helped an FBI agent.
Oh, and Melvin, one more thing. You needn't worry about what to tell the Clarksons. I'm sure they already know that Galena's been arrested. After all, this is Lucare. Don't mind me, Zach. This is how I wake myself up. Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route. Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar. Looks like a case of bad timing. Let's come back later. The streets in New Orleans were a mess, all busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zach? This is... Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar, only milk. Yes, I'm completely...
Mehala mahak mo kache. Oh. Mehala. Verily.
Where's the thing I just bought?
All awaits thee at the altar. Altars exist, whether thy needs exist. The bedchamber of thy hostelry doth possess one therewith.
So where's my thing?
All altars lead to the other realm. Thusly, all periapts in thy possession may be confirmed at any altar.
The other realm?
Forsooth, any mirror may metamorphose into an entrance to the other realm. Prithee, say thou doth grasp this wisdom.
You can see the same world as the skeletal gentleman?
I am the mirror. As my name doth suggest, I am the looking glass given flesh.
Zack, it appears that there's still a lot about this world that we don't understand. This is the deep south. There's no telling what might happen next. What a strange feeling. It looks like there are spots to place other items as well. If we find anything that seems like it might fit, let's bring it back here. After all, what do we have to lose? What, you think that sounds like a pain in the neck? Come on now, Zack. Surely you know that all rituals work this way. Blessings from beyond will only come to those who exhibit the finest level of courtesy and reverence. In short, they're reflections of the self. Only with a mind deep in the dirt will you know true tranquility. Then your body will turn to dust and dance with the wind. Who came up with that quote? That one was all me, Zack. Looks like we were right on the money.
How pitiful. Are you lost, little lamb? You did well to come here. As pitiful as it may seem, we humans have little control over the state of our own health. Someone may seem very healthy, only to find out they're suffering from a severe disease after taking a test. I've encountered many lost lambs who fell into that very predicament. Allow me to pray that the same doesn't happen to you, my son. The Lord is always. Please return to us any time you wish. How pitiful.
The streets in New Orleans were a mess, all busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved. That's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zach? This is the deep south. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach? So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondock. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of evil? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. By the way, Zach, Boondock feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondock. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of evil? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mystery. Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting at a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. It would have given the...
So, we meet again, Bureau Man.
Zach, let's go over our progress. We've got a complicated case on our hands this time, especially as far as the Clarksons' relationships go. But in a way, it's also a simple one. Understanding them on a deeper level is the most efficient way to uncover the truth behind all this. That's the one thing I'm sure of. Zach, let's start with the people who were closest to the victim. Lise Clarkson, the victim, is the granddaughter of the current head of the Clarkson family. Her mother is Galena, an ex-actress, and Lise clearly inherited her beauty. Except for her eyes, that is. Lisa's eye color matches that of her father's. Now, do you remember who Lise Clarkson's father is? That's right. Lisa's father is Danny Clarkson. His real name is Daniel E. Clarkson. He's from Florida and used to be the CEO of a talent agency. Danny struck the heart of Galena and successfully became a member of the esteemed Clarkson family. Despite being the son-in-law, he acts like he was born a Clarkson, but he's still just the son-in-law. Next comes what happened to Lise. According to Alexis, Lise said that the man was as tall as an oak tree. I believe that's the same 10-foot-tall giant who made the fingerprints we found in the cold storage warehouse. Now, what did this man do to Lise prior to her murder? Yes, that's it, Zach. The man as tall as an oak tree followed Lise around and watched her. Despite his towering stature, he must have been rather shy. Or perhaps he was merely biding his time and planned to kidnap her from the very start. If that's the case, there should have been some evidence left at the scene of the crime. Zach, we're still missing some puzzle pieces. Speaking of the scene of the crime, I did some profiling in the plantation's control room. The truth it revealed to us was nauseating and horrific, but we need to touch upon it if we wish to proceed. Isn't that right, Zach? Who actually murdered Lise Clarkson? Yes, that's right. Lisa's own mother killed her, while she was dreaming about some bizarre new world. This is by far the vilest and ugliest crime we've ever seen. The fact that Galena set up her daughter's body at an altar makes this case even more complicated. Remember, not a single sacrificial human murder has ever been proven and documented in all of American history. The real world is far more complex than what we see in films and video games, and sacrificing a human life for something else is no easy task. In conclusion, Zach, through our investigation, we found one character who sticks out more than anyone else. You know exactly who I'm thinking about, don't you? We'll need to have a word with her in the near future. Who's the stylish woman we saw during the profiling? Professor R. We haven't met her yet, but she's deeply intertwined with this case. Let's wait for the skeletal gentleman to guide us to her with an oracle. Well, Zach, what do you think? Isn't the Deep South something? The people here are just as warm as the weather, and the food is to die for. Might be nice to move down here after I retire. What, still too early to talk about that? You may be right. After all, this case has only just begun.
Galena can't be the killer. They're making all this shit up.
If what you say is true, Daniel, how do you plan to prove it? It's nearly been a century since the Clarksons first took control of Lucari. 100 years. I always thought my legacy would live on for 300 at least.
I'm gonna find the real killer and beat the living dog shit out of him.
Yet it looks to me like times have changed. We ain't in the good old days no more. You understand me, boy?
Yes, sir. I'm right there with you, Pa. I'm gonna continue what you started, sir, and make the Clarkson family strong again. But first, I need to find whoever really killed Lise and bash their fucking brains in.
I saw this coming. Ever since the day Lenny left home, the town of Lucari has been cursed. We can't stop what's happening now. It's too late. It's beyond me. No. It's beyond the minds of anyone who comes from the olden days. You understand me now, boy?
Yes, sir. Believe me, I do. I'll kill him. Just leave everything to me, Pa.
Are you serious about this?
Yes, sir. Right hand of God. Look right in my eyes. I ain't lying. I'm serious. I just need you to lend me some troops, sir. We need retribution right now. That's the job I've been given, and I intend to do it.
Well then, let me ask you one more time. Are you serious about this?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm a Clarkson, and all Clarksons have a job to do. Isn't that what we always say?
Mm-hmm.
then I'll need an arm.
Yeah. What?
Well now, you want to use my troops, I'm gonna need to know whether or not you're really serious about this. Just one arm. Slide it on through that wire there, and it'll take care of it for you.
Paul, I mean, you're joking, right?
Daniel, have I ever told you a single joke?
No, but...
If you want to become a real Clarkson, then you done got yourself a job to do.
Wait, Paul, I get it now. You want me to stick it in and then pull it out at the last minute, right? You want to see if I got guts or not, but there's gonna be another way. You can't be serious, sir. Hey, knock it off, you assholes! Let me go! He's just joking with me. Let me go, goddammit! Oh, please, sir, don't do this! Just tell me this is a joke, please!
I am a Clarkson. And no matter how our fortune falls, all Clarksons have a job to do. That be the law of this land.
York, you can hear me, right? I'll be with you soon. I'm not sad. Honestly, I can't wait. It's all I think about lately. I mean, we'll be together again. We'll get to discuss movies, food again. Everyone around here has bad taste. They don't understand things the way we do. It's a shitty world filled with shitty people. Oh, that reminds me. There are movie theaters and restaurants over there, right? As soon as I get there, let's go grab some peanut butter hamburgers and yogurt smoothies. I'm so excited, York. Please. York, don't rush me. You just need to wait a bit longer. I still have one job left to do. I need to finish it. I have to. Or else I'd never be able to face you. Just give me a little more time, okay?
So, Lisa's mother, Galena Clarkson, confessed to murdering Lise. But then immediately afterwards, she went insane. So you had no choice but to detain her. What a terribly convenient story. You were the first person to find the suspect hiding at a farm on the edge of town. And you even got her to confess to the crime, right then and there. Did anyone else get a chance to hear Galena's confession?
Only us.
How did you even find that shack in the first place?
Metaphysical offender profiling.
Meta what? Should I know this word?
Metaphysical offender profiling. The term appears 6 times in the Le Carré report and 14 times in the 2010 Greenvale report. As long as you're solving cases, the people in charge don't really care what sort of words you use. But we're different. You utilized a highly abnormal method to instantly hone in on a suspect. Then you did it again and again. And every time you used it, one term kept appearing in your files. Metaphysical offender profiling. Mr. Morgan, would you mind explaining to us what this term means?
We could try. But no matter what words we used, you'd never be able to understand. You see, it doesn't pertain to this side. Come, my fairy. Stop hiding back there and give them the explanation they so desire. What? You're too shy?
Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Come on out. Don't be afraid. You can do it. It's okay. Come on.
Is that all you have to say? Don't underestimate me, Morgan. I know you and the Clarksons share a deeper connection, much deeper than how it appears on the surface. I need to shake him with something else that's directly connected to the Clarksons. I'm gonna jog his memory by force. Reading over it again, I can't help but notice how well organized this report is. One might even call it perfect. Except some parts have been redacted in an extremely suspicious way. Why are all these places blotted out? Someone stole Lisa's body and it's been missing for the past 14 years. I find it hard to believe that it was simply hidden in that cold storage warehouse the entire time. Why wasn't a more detailed investigation carried out? A stack of old letters. These must be the letters that he mentioned in the report. That dragonfly mark proves it. Those letters look very old. The postmark suggests they were sent out from Louisiana. And I suspect that dragonfly mark belongs to the Clarkson family.
Maybe. So what if it does?
A stalker has been harassing Patricia Clarkson for several years now. Did you know about this? Constant silent phone calls, unmarked letters. She also spotted a suspicious figure lurking near her mansion several times. And just last week, her employees spotted a strange figure lurking in the vicinity. The day someone else coincidentally used your alias and traveled to Louisiana.
That's very intriguing. Aligned symbolism.
Lise Clarkson also reported being harassed by a stalker just before she was murdered. You're aware of this, correct? Because I didn't find any mention of this in your report.
No direct connection to the case. That's what we must have thought.
The visionary lies to himself, the liar only to others. Which are you?
That's enough for now. This all has nothing to do with the case. Besides, there's no evidence that proves those letters are from her. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Mr. Morgan, I noticed that several parts of this report have been redacted. For example, here. One individual's name has been erased from the key figure list. Would you mind telling me why?
Someone in charge must have thought it was unimportant. Or maybe even inappropriate.
Why would they think that?
How should we know? We've never understood what those people do.
Well, I took the liberty of trying to restore what was taken out. Normal ink was used to blot it out, so I was able to recover part of it. Here's what it says. Sapling salesman. All the other redacted parts seem to be connected to this person, but I can't think of a single reason why this individual would need to be removed from the report. Why is he so untouchable?
Oh, him. He's nothing. We were barking up the wrong tree.
Meaning?
Can't include someone who doesn't exist in an official report, now can we?
Doesn't exist? You mean he had nothing to do with the case?
Yeah, you could say that.
Mr. Morgan, according to you, at the beginning of this case, the victim's body was being stored in the warehouse on purpose. Is that the truth? They really put her body there alongside food and other perishables?
It's in the report.
No. The report only says it was stored using the most effective and shockingly inhuman method possible.
If you can think of a better phrase, we're all ears.
The report isn't wrong, you know. In fact, that might actually be the most accurate way of describing it. It's precise, and it's also kinda poetic, you know?
Wow, Simon. We never would have taken you for a poet.
Right?
You two think this is a joke? Lise Clarkson's body was discovered in that cold storage warehouse after 14 long years. If you'd only done a proper investigation, we probably would have found her much sooner. That poor girl.
We still regret the fact that we never got to meet her. We're sorry, from the bottoms of our hearts.
I only hope it didn't happen that way by design.
Will you comfort me? Thank you, my fairy.
I knew it wouldn't go that easily. Maybe I should try asking my questions in a different way. I could use Agent Jones here. That's the window that faces the street out front. I can tell just from the layout of his furniture. Now I'm surrounded by everything I couldn't see out there. Films teach us all we need to know? That's ridiculous. I'd rather read a book than watch a stupid movie.
It's bugging you, isn't it, Aaliyah?
Huh? What?
I get it. It's bugging me too. It's even got my heart racing a little. I mean, look at this. Nothing but DVDs. Not a single Blu-ray in sight, just pure, unadulterated DVDs. he's got VHS tapes, too. I don't even have a VHS player in my house anymore. Whoa, look at this. Check it out. This one's got a lot of pizza in it, remember?
You're not wrong, Simon. There's a very large quantity of pizza in that film. 1987, directed by Mel Brooks. The version on that tape is the one we recorded back when you could catch it on cable TV.
Seriously? Damn, Morgan, that's incredible. You're really living the dream, man.
I hope you both haven't forgotten that this conversation is also being recorded. This is a nice building. Layout isn't bad either. Whew. Must be rather expensive to rent a place like this in Boston. How many other rooms are there in this apartment? That room over there your bedroom?
Huh. Why so curious, Belle? It almost sounds as if you're seeing this place for the first time. Aside from the hardware shop on the first floor, every apartment in this building has the exact same layout. We're well aware that you studied the layout of this apartment before you came to see us. There's no need to act so roundabout. Just be honest. Say it. I want to see your bedroom.
Well then?
Doesn't mean we'll let you see it, though.
Agent Jones is completely checked out, despite the fact that we're heading deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole here. Agent Jones! Are you paying attention? Or do you intend to waste Mr. Morgan's precious time?
No, sorry. I'm just a little tired. I'm listening.
Take your hand out of your pocket. Didn't they teach you any manners at Quantico?
Oh, right. Guess they slipped my mind. My bad. I'm actually kinda nervous. I'm not used to this sort of thing. Data analysis is my specialty, you know. I'm sure I'd be able to calm down a bit if I had some pizza, though.
The FBI needs to do something about their lack of personnel. I'll have to ask the questions myself. But how should I start? Maybe I should look back over the files and calmly reassess the situation. So far, everything checks out with the report. But there were always some parts of the report that didn't make sense. He expects me to believe he just happened to solve a case this difficult while he was on vacation? And metaphysical offender profiling? I won't let him distract me with his fancy made-up words. After you arrested Galena Clarkson, you had a run-in with the Clarksons. At least that's what it says in the report. What exactly happened there?
Just a simple run-in, that's all. Nothing but a single phenomenon. Chasing hollow instances like that won't lead you closer to the truth. Truth doesn't work like that.
A hollow phenomenon, which resulted in a mountain of corpses.
Oh, Belle. We think we finally understand what you're trying to say. But don't be so voracious. How about another cup of coffee? We've still got a long way to go, you know. Yes. It's coarsely ground, so there should only be 4 teaspoons per cup. No more, no less. Next, the coffee travels from the funnel to the siphon. Simon, normally you only do surveillance in order to gather data, correct? hiding microphones and cameras, sifting through garbage, wiretapping, shadowing, tracing credit card histories. You'll do whatever it takes to gather data in order to prevent crimes. That's how the FBI works.
Well, yeah, you're right. No reason in hiding it now, I guess. Why do you ask?
Our Southern Belle has adopted a very peculiar MO. It's almost like she has a special power, just like us. You've been watching us this entire time, haven't you, Belle? From that window.
I don't need to answer that question.
You came here on New Year's Eve, then spent 49 hours watching us until you returned to your hotel room last night. You observed us the entire time without sleep or rest. And you only ate once, some pizza delivered by Simon. Aside from that, you never drank any water or relieved yourself. You simply sat there and continued to watch us. You have visions, too, don't you? You came here solely to hear us talk, didn't you? But then, why bother watching us for over 2 days beforehand? You didn't come to talk with us. You came because you wanted to see this apartment with your own eyes. And because you're already convinced of something. Isn't that right? He who fights with monsters should see to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you.
But
Oh. Coffee. Thank you, my fairy. If you hadn't been paying attention, this coffee would have all gone to waste. The pus in our brains. It really has a way of interfering with our lives. Didn't remember.
Oh. What the Christ? This is friggin' delicious. I thought I was gonna shit myself for a second there. Come on, Aaliyah, take a sip. Trust me, I'm not exaggerating here.
I don't believe it. It's better than any coffee I've ever tasted.
Of course it is. Coffee is a sacred drink. Coffee saved us. If not for its oracle, we would be on the other side right now. So I never forget to pay my respects to coffee. Especially at critical moments like this.
Big black cumulonimbus clouds are in the sky. And that sound. Thunder snow is coming. Does Agent Jones need pizza in order to calm down? Why does he hate being out in the field so much? He knows we need to be on our absolute guard against this guy. Why can't he just pull it together? If he actually had a hand in this, it would explain why Lisa's body was left frozen for all that time. The body wasn't stolen. It wasn't that he couldn't find it. It's definitely a possibility.
Come on, don't glare at me like that, Aaliyah. I told you, I'm out of my element here, remember?
This isn't the time or the place.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just really nervous. I mean, Morgan's a legend. And now he's right in front of us, and things are all tense. I'm sure it'd give any normal agent a stomachache.
Incidentally, Simon.
Don't ask. It's a long story.
I don't mind. We have lots of time, don't we? I could even make you another cup of coffee, if you like.
Fine then. I'll try to make it brief. See, I used to work out in the field. Even had my own partner. But we had a little rivalry that sorta ruined our relationship. It was over a woman, of course. You know how it goes. We fell in love with the same girl. At the same workplace, too. Then one day, the three of us went to go do a stakeout at a restaurant over in East Boston. I pretended to be a customer while my partner waited in the car, and she waited in the building across the way. Well, it only took a few minutes for my partner and I to lose our heads. We started engaging in this dumb contest to see who could impress her more. Things were looking bad. I knew I was gonna lose. Then, something happened. Right in front of me, a customer starts choking on something. Face was pale, froth at the mouth, the whole 9 yards. I got up at once, but my partner stopped me. Didn't want us to blow our cover. So what did I do? I ignored him and helped the guy anyway. I couldn't stand by and watch that. Next thing I knew, I was a hero. The guy survived, the restaurant thanked me, and I'd even managed to win the heart of you-know-who. It felt pretty good, you know, one-upping my partner right in front of his very eyes. But that was the beginning of the end. A few days later, she and I went to go get some bubble tea at a cafe in Brookline. And a man comes up to me and said,
I'm here to thank you on behalf of the person you saved in that restaurant.
Feeling a bit cocky, I said, all in a day's work, my good man, and tried to brush him away. But he held out an envelope to me and said,
My client broke 3 ribs thanks to the unnecessary Heimlich maneuver you administered to him. He wants you to ensure that he'll be able to get the proper treatment.
I thought I'd saved someone. But all I ended up doing is wasting a lot of my precious time wrapped up in an astronomically stupid court case. It also blew our cover, so our target found out about us. In the end, I was taken out of the field and banished to a meaningless job that anyone with half a brain could do. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, well, that's what happened. Of course, I also lost the love of my life and went back to being a lonesome loser. And that's why I hate being out in the field. Oh, come on. I tell you all that and you're not even gonna say anything?
That was long, Simon.
Hey, I warned you. I told you it'd be long. Oh.
If he actually had a hand in this, it would explain why Lisa's body was left frozen for all that time. The body wasn't stolen. It wasn't that he couldn't find it. He just left it there. It's definitely a possibility.